Hi, Deborah Roth here at Spirited Musings, and we're back this week to give you a little preview of the new moon in Virgo that is coming up on September 5th, next week. And it's funny, when I was thinking about what I wanted to say about the new moon in Virgo and how you can embrace that energy to really make changes in your life that are supportive and helpful, I thought, okay, I'm going to take a really Virgoan approach to this, which is very methodical and fact-finding and analytical. So I pulled out some of my old astrology books. Now, I've been a certified astrologer as long as I've been a certified coach, which is about 15 years. So my books are, I don't do a lot of buying of current books when I've got the really good basics. So my favorite, the only way to learn astrology, I'm not sure they're both still alive, but it's Marion March and Joan McKevers. So when I'm looking at what Virgo is about to help me figure out what to talk about with you, it's industrious, studious, fact-finding, all the things that I said to you, methodical, scientific, seeks perfection. I thought that was interesting. I mean, not new, I know these things. Humane, health conscious, which is where I've always gone with Virgo new moon, so I was trying to go a different direction. And then the negative, the downside of it, and this is where it really clicked in, this really good reminder, critical, petty, fears disease, that's the health conscious piece, so that's the downside of the positive part of Virgo, and self-centered. And that took me immediately back to the place that I always love to go with the Virgo new moon, and that's this whole notion of self-care. If Virgo is about creating healthy habits and rituals and being methodical and structured about it, I always like to think that it's one of the most wonderful moons for bringing in ritual in a conscious way in our lives. And the ritual, the new moon circles that I typically do around Virgo, and if you're in New York City, please do check out my website, Spirited Living, and you'll find out all the details. If you want to come do, and this is what we're doing next week, where we are embracing radical self-care, or what I call sacred self-centeredness. And on that same website is my book, I'm doing this all wrong, The Art of Circle of One, The Art of Becoming a Self-Centered Woman. And it was the book is it's an ebook, all about reclaiming this notion of self-centeredness, which in my trusty old astrology Bible tells us is one of the downsides of Virgo. So I want to invite you, as I do in my book, to really embrace what it means to be self-centered in a sacred way. And my book obviously applies, talks to women especially, because I do very passionately believe that women, even more than men, are socialized to take care of everyone else first. And if there's anything left, and often there isn't, then they can take care of themselves. Now, at the same time, I just had a wonderful conversation this morning with a terrific new client, a male client, who really could use some of this sacred self-centeredness. So while I tend to gear a lot of my work towards women, this is universal. The need to create a place of sacred self-centeredness, of radical self-care is really important. So I invite you to look. One of the things that I do in Circle of One in the book is I look at the acronym SELF, S-E.L.F, and come up with, and I invite you to do the same, with words that really inform each one of those. So the S in self, this is capital S, is sacred, obviously. Spiritual, anything. I'm going to pull out the book. I'll tell you what I came up with. Soulful, spirited, of course. So this is how we want to reprogram the notion of being self-centered in a sacred way, in a conscious, loving, intentional way. Because actually, once we are serving ourselves with a capital S, we can so much better take care of all the things that are important in our lives, and people that are important in our lives, and make changes in the world. So the E of self, energizing, enlightening, enriching. These are all things that if you are thinking in this way, you can expand your notion of what it means to be self-centered in a sacred way. The L is loving, luscious. What was the other? Another one, limitless. So the whole notion of self-care is limitless. And think about what it is that you're doing that's really luscious and yummy for yourself. And finally, the F word in self, words, some of them are focused, fun. We want to have fun doing this. And fearless. It really takes an act of courage to be able to set boundaries and take really good care of yourself in this, not just in the Virgo new moon time, but all year round. But let's use the Virgo new moon to really jumpstart that practice if you haven't already. Let me know how you do.